This is going to be a bit of a different type of video. I've been looking through my library lately on Steam, and this happens on Switch too. I often feel like I just never know what to play. Like I know this feeling is not like a uncommon one. I know a lot of people can feel this feeling. Just this, just not really knowing like what game should I pick. And nothing ever feels particularly like a game that stands out anymore. When I was younger, I would get super excited about this particular game that was going to come out. I remember how excited I was about Fallout New Vegas. And I had played Fallout 3 and I loved it. It was so awesome. Fallout 3 today is still one of my favorite games ever. And I remember like the announcement for New Vegas, and I was like, oh my God, they're making another Fallout game. I'm so excited. And I couldn't wait to get it. And it was so exciting. And I remember when I did get it, I played the crap out of it. And even though it was super buggy and needed a lot of work and a lot of patches, and it was so exciting to play. I miss having that experience with video games. Maybe it was the child in me, the useful side of me, or maybe it was something about the industry at the time, or maybe it's because today everything feels so saturated because there's so many video games out there now. And, there's a lot of video games that have, problems or challenges. Like, there's industry practices that, exploit the consumer, and it's kind of sad because, it kind of degrades the quality of the video game. But like, it's been a while since I've really been excited about a video game. And I think the last time I was excited was Fallout 4, being very excited for Fallout 4. And it was a good game. It did kind of let me down a little bit. I thought it was going to be a little bit better than it turned out to be, but it wasn't a bad game. I still enjoyed it. I still played it. But man, I can't even think of the last time I actually really got super excited about a new upcoming release. Actually, maybe it wasn't Fallout 4. It was probably Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I was super stoked about that because they were like rejuvenating the Jet Set Radio franchise, through a spiritual successor. And Bomb Rush Cyberpunk did live up to the hype. It's a phenomenal game. They're also making a sequel called Hyperfunk, I think. It's called Hyperfunk. I may need to be corrected there. Yes, it's called Hyperfunk. And yeah, I'm excited for that game. That's like the next game I'm really excited for. I don't know what the release date is for that, but other than that, like, I don't really have any particular games that jump out at me that are like, oh, I can't wait till this comes out. I remember when I was a kid, I used to go on GameSpot all the time, which was like a competitor to IGN. I don't know if GameSpot's still around. I hope they're still around. I've never seen a GameSpot video on YouTube for so long. Does GameSpot still exist? Okay, it still exists. They rebranded the logo for some reason, and yeah, anyway. But GameSpot to me was like the place to go for good game information back in the day. I don't know if it still is. It's been a long time since I used to browse it, but I used to have an account on GameSpot, and I'd always be looking at all the new games that were going to be released. And I remember it was the place where I first found out that Borderlands, the very first Borderlands game, was going to come out. And I remember seeing the art style at the time, this shaded art style. I'm like, that game looks so cool. I cannot wait to play it. And when Borderlands came out, I was super stoked for it, and I loved it. It was great. The first Borderlands was such a great game. And it felt like that method had never been done before. Like, the whole like keep upgrading your guns and RPG element to a first person shooter. It felt so refreshing, so authentic, and so new that it was a very exciting game. And I remember they didn't even need to convince me to buy Borderlands 2. I was just like, I'm going to be spending money on this game for sure, because I enjoyed Borderlands 1 so much. And 2 was good. I played 2 all the way through, and I enjoyed it. It was hilarious. A really funny game. But after 2, I kind of just lost interest. The pre-sequel didn't really interest me. Borderlands 3, didn't play it, nor 4. but it's a good game, and the recipe was there, and they milked it for what it was worth. I just got tired of it earlier on, and it wasn't for me after a while. But I'm sure that the pre-sequel 3 and 4 are still good games. I haven't played them. But yeah, I do miss that time period of being really excited for new releases and new games to come out. And it's been a long time since that's happened. Like, I would get excited over Mario games or whatever. And now maybe it's because like there's so many games that, cost a lot of money to buy. And there's just this massive amount of choice out there. And if you've been a gamer for a long time, your library grows. Your library grows significantly over the years. And it's sad in a way because it feels like novelty becomes the new currency for video games, or nostalgia. It's like it's either novelty or nostalgia. And if a game is not hitting one of those two aspects or elements, it feels like it just kind of disappears. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe, I'm sure like if I looked on the Steam store like long enough, I would probably find some games I'd really like to play. I would love to play Elden Ring. Elden Ring looks like a really fun game. I don't know how well I would do at a Dark Souls game. I've tried the first Dark Souls. I didn't do very well, but it was kind of fun. I did like it. But I never played it through. But like, yeah, that kind of like childhood excitement. I don't know. I miss that. I wish that was there. I wish that came back. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm older now. And I've just seen so many video games, and it's been a while since something just like blew me out of the water. I'm like, I have to play that. It's been a while, and yeah, I remember seeing this clip on the internet, and there was this kid, and he was like, I don't know, 6 years old, and his parents, it was Christmas, and maybe you guys have seen this clip before. It was at Christmas time, and he's opening up this box, and his parents bought him a Nintendo 64, and he's like, he just loses his collective mind. He's like, Nintendo 64! It's such a great clip. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but you should go watch it just for some childhood joy right there. Like, the kid is just like, he loses his marbles about how excited he is that he just got a Nintendo 64, and it just puts a big beaming smile on your face. It's just so cute. And I loved that excitement as a kid. Like, for me, it was a GameCube, or my first Nintendo DS. The excitement of getting your first console was just unreal. Or getting a video game you were just so excited to play. I remember Lego Star Wars was like one of my first video games too. Like, I mean, by first, I mean one of the first major titles in my collection. And I was so happy to get Lego Star Wars. Super happy to get Mario Sunshine. Like, there was just so many games that like I was just over the moon to be able to play, and I thought they were so special, and they were special. They were really good games for the times they came out. And back then, gaming was kind of different. Like, there was no indie scene, and maybe that's partially why these games were so special, is because like, while there was still a significant library of video games that had been built up over time, the only thing you could shop and browse for was whatever was at the store you were at. So if you were at like the grocery store and they had an electronics section, you go over the electronics section, and then you would be able to browse the games for the console you owned. And typically there was always the three console wars between PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. And there was some, you would also have a generational war as well. So you had the previous generation with the PS2 Xbox era, and then moving into the PS3 Xbox 360 era, and from the GameCube into the Wii. So there was a limit of choices you could make. Like, at any time, if I remember going to the store, unless it was a video game store like GameStop, there would only be like a selection of 20 different video games I could buy. Like, there was 20 different GameCube games I could buy that was at the store. And I had to choose from one of those 20, and I would look for the one that excited me the most. And that would be the one I would take home with me if I could afford it at the time. And it was exciting because it felt like you got the best pick and you got the best one, and you knew you're going to enjoy it. And maybe that, like, it comes down to that paradox of choice. Perhaps that's why some of that excitement has, kind of lost its touch. But I don't know, like, it doesn't like necessarily feel like kids play video games as much as I used to when I was a kid. Like Generation Alpha, Gen Z, like, I don't know if they play video games as much as millennials did. Or Gen X. Like, even Gen X played quite a few video games. Not a lot of them, but arguably millennials played more video games than any other generation, I would probably say. But maybe I'm wrong, because I heard the other day that the average gamer is 36 years old, which is crazy. But yeah, that would encompass also a little bit of Gen X. But yeah, generations aside, doesn't really matter. It's just like, I don't know. Do you feel like you've like lost a little bit of that excitement? How do you feel about picking a new game to play? Like, what really excites you? I think now I find like games in general, the ones I do end up playing are the ones that are really addictive. Like, I got sucked into Satisfactory a while ago, and I think I spent 200 hours in Satisfactory within the span of like 2 weeks. And I was like, this is godly unhealthy for me. I need to stop playing this video game. I had to uninstall it. I had to uninstall Satisfactory because it literally was just sucking my life dry. Like, I got to do some work. I have to do something productive. All I'm doing is playing Satisfactory. That's a very dangerous video game. But it's those are the kind of games I like picking up and playing. I've also thought about picking up Balatro, and then on Balatro it seems really fun and addictive, and then I'm like, okay, that's the problem though. It seems really fun and addictive. I need games that I can pick up, play, enjoy, but then not feel like I'm getting like sucked into a dopamine, hydro tornado that I'm not going to be able to get out of for the next, how many weeks. So I want a video game that's just fun. I don't need it to be anything more than that. The video games that are like hijacking your attention are a little bit scary and a little bit dangerous. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that there's more video games that come out in the future that I get really excited about, and I'm sure maybe there's games you're really excited about. I'd love to hear if there's some that are upcoming that you are excited to play. Please let me know why. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on that. I missed that time. I missed that time when I was more excited for the next game. I'm sure if there was a new Fallout game coming out, I'd probably be like losing my mind right now. But we did have Fallout 76, which we don't really want to talk about. So it's like maybe it's partly. I know I should be ending the video by now, but maybe it's partly that we become so accustomed to video game companies letting us down that we almost don't really want to let our the hype get too out of control. Because there's so many games that have used that in a predatory way against its consumers. And it's really sad that they've done that because they've ripped away a lot of childhoods or moments of childhood that could have been really amazing for those kids. Like there was just some games that were like, they were just so hyped up and they were going to be so amazing. And then they just crapped the bed so hard and everyone's just like, wow. That sucks. Like, even with the whole pre-ordering problem that exists, like I've learned to just never pre-order a game again. I got really last video game I got excited for, it was Battlefield 6. It looked so good. It looked like to me, it looked like all the environments were going to be completely destructible, which is exactly why I bought it. Because I'm like, I want a game where the entire environment is completely destructible. And it did not deliver. Some environments are partially destructible, and for the most part, it's just kind of like, it doesn't change the game a whole lot. So I was bummed about that, and I was bummed about a lot of other things they did, and I did play it for, about 100 hours, so I did get my money's worth, but I was a little bit sad about that. So it wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be. I gave into the hype. Yeah. I just think there's game companies that overpromise and underdeliver, and it's kind of sad that we live in that sphere right now. I really hope we see more game companies, change their way of conducting business and start underpromising and over delivering, because honestly, that's what the video game industry needs right now. There's been so many video games that have just been like, just so predatory for their consumer base. And yeah, publishers and developers that do that, it's not cool anymore, guys. It's not cool anymore, you know? So yeah. Anyway, to leave this on a positive note, there are still really a lot of fantastic games out there. Subnautica 2 did come out. I haven't played it, but it looks really good. And it looks like the developers did a fantastic job with that game. So that is very nice to see. I know there's plenty of other really good games out there. Elden Ring looks like an absolute blast. Forza Horizon 6 looks really good. And, you know, there's other things to still be excited about and get excited about. I guess I'm just talking about a feeling I've had lately about the gaming industry, but, you know, I do want to be kind of optimistic. I don't want to be all negative on the channel all the time. I'm trying to, you know, like bring up the energy a little bit in the room. Yeah. There are some games I'm excited for, sort of. I just hope, I'm waiting for them to come out of early access before I really believe that they're going to be really good. I'm waiting before I purchase. Anyway, thank you for listening if you listened this far, and I will catch you in the next video. Zen out.